Some more similar questions. I actually woke up at 4:30 this morning and decided I'd go ahead and type this all up so I wouldn't have to make stuff up on the fly. Sometimes having kids is a blessing, like when you need to get up really early and get stuff done. They'll do that for you. So on number 6, the similar question I created is f of g of -5. I didn't change anything up here. That's still the same. And again, remember how we read this. We read this f composed of g composed of -5. So your first task is to find g of -5. I don't know why I got the set of parentheses there. But g of -5 would say plug a -5 in here. And this is 6 times a -5 minus a 4, which should be -34. That seems reasonable. Okay. And now I get to use a substitution property. Everywhere I see g sub -5, I am now being replaced with a -34, so the goal is to find f of -34. This is going to be kind of big. You know, on paper it looks like this. I personally would just grab a TI-84 and use a storage feature. That's what I would do. A lot of you kids are very resistant to the storage feature, and I don't know why. But whatever. Most of y'all probably farm boys or shop boys, and you still do righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, don't you? I bet you do. And assuming I typed everything in correctly, I got 4,617. I won't lie, sometimes I have to righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Sometimes. I've done so much wrenching at this point in time, it's instinctual. Alright, number 7, we got f over g. A similar question is f over g of -7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace every x in f with a -7. And again, this is what it looks like on paper. I don't know that you'll actually write it down. I wish you would, but I want you to understand what's going on. I plug a -7 into f because this is the top. The top is f of -7, and the bottom is g of -7. And again, you're going to do the same thing, but with a -3. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and use a storage feature for that top one. I didn't even use it. Look at that. I was talking about the storage feature, and I didn't use it in the first place. I need to wake up, don't I? So the numerator becomes 109 or 189, and the denominator, let's see, is 6x minus 4, which is -46. So we're going to see if that reduces. 189 divided by a -46. Going to hit the math key, answer frac, and it does not. It's just -189 over 46. All right, moving on to number 8. The deal here is find f over g and state the function's domain. Here's my similar one. The similar one is f of x squared over g of x. And again, the deal here is to find f of x over g of x. That's all the notation's saying. So this is 5x squared over 5x minus 12. It's not a hard problem. It's really not. Look for that. That's something everybody can do. That ought to take if this was multiple choice, that'd be 50-50 right there. All right, because that's part of it. As far as stating the function's domain, you cannot divide by 0. You've got this little rule right here. If you have something a over b, b cannot be 0. So 5x minus 12 cannot be a 0. That's a 2-step. X cannot be 12/5. Now, how do you answer a question like that? You use either set builder or interval notation. Set builder or interval, and you have to know both. I hate it for you, but you have to know both. Set builder says all values of x such that x is not 12/5. It's the easy one. Interval notation, again, you would think about a number line. 12/5 is a little over 2. 1, 2, and here's 12/5. We have the not equal to symbol. I could be everything less, and I could be everything more. If I'm everything less than 12/5, I'm negative infinity. So here's the left interval. There's also a right interval that restarts at 12/5 and moves to positive infinity. So union with. I'm going to do the similar one here, and I'm also going to do the original number 9, because the original number 9, I don't know how tired I was when I made it. It wasn't what I intended. Let me repeat that. This is not what I intended. It's really not. All right. So let me do the similar one, then I'll go back and look at number 9. So the similar one is 2x minus 3 and over x squared. And your goal here is to find f composed of g. So f composed of g, which is 5x minus 4. Hope you see that. Goody Lord, I screwed up this on the key. I really need to take a look at this. Ignore that message up there. I had a brain fart when I did this. So I need to go back and fix that key to this. I'm going to stop this video and go back and fix something. Everywhere I see an x, I become 5x minus 4, twice 5x minus 4 minus 3, over 5x minus 4 all squared. I don't think there's any cancellations that happen here. They're not. If this 3 was being multiplied by 5x minus 4, I could go ahead and cancel something out. I invoke the distributive property up top, 10x minus 8 minus 3. The bottom is written twice and foiled. Foiling is something that if you don't get, shame on you. You need to hurry up and get it. You need to go ahead and get on YouTube, whatever it takes, figure out how to foil. You use that in biology when you do the dihybrid squares. You do. If we FOIL this out, we'll have 25x squared, I believe, minus 40x, and then plus 16. So there is f composed of g of x, assuming I didn't make any mistakes. Now, what's the domain? Well, this follows that rule, a over b, b is not 0. The question is, where do you do it? It's easiest to do it right here. All right. This would be harder. This is the FOIL result of this. So go back sometimes and take a look. For the domain, I would say 5x minus 4 times 5x minus 4 is not 0. And then I'd use that cover-up technique that I've been talking about with you since August. Either this is not 0 or that is not 0. And they're the same thing. So 5x minus 4 is not 0, which means that x is not 4/5. So let's talk about my interval. Sorry, let's talk about set builder and interval. Set builder, again, is the easy one. You got your curly braces, all values of x such that x is not 4/5. The interval, look up here on the number line idea. Negative infinity to 4/5, union with 4/5 to infinity. I'm going to go ahead and stop this real quick and go fix something. I'll be back in a few minutes. Oh, there you can see it all now. I'll be right back.